Hello and welcome back to Shokuho, and we are in a battle against some Hojo clan vassals. They're attempting to take Kasugayama back, and obviously we're not gonna allow that. No, we're not gonna allow that at all. We are just going to destroy them in every single way, or at least I will try. I will try to do that. Now I have no idea. Oh, what? Wait a minute. Where are these guys going? They seem to be somewhat running away. I don't know why they're all the way over there. Bit weird, right? Oh, wait, they have some Hatamoto units. Okay, we might have some issues with them. Maybe. Alright, well, this gives me a good opportunity to try and maybe level up my gun skill somewhat. Because I have the reload animation bug or something. It's definitely going to help out a little bit. Because if you're someone like me and you're a little bit impatient when it comes to reload speed, then this is obviously perfect. Now, if I can just make sure that I hit these people, unfortunately, sometimes that is just not possible. There we go. Maybe we'll be able to get to 275, even though, funnily enough, I actually don't think that that's going to make any difference. I think, generally, yeah, sure, it definitely does. But from a damage perspective, I don't think that's really going to do anything, because we are already killing enemies in one hit most of the time. If you obviously make a body shot or whatever, it's probably going to be a kill. And, well, everything else apart from that, not really, you know? Everything else is, well, if you hit them on the foot, I guess. If you hit them on the foot, maybe that's not going to be a kill then, but I'm actually unsure about that. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, because we don't have the more detailed combat log on at the moment, so we won't be able to see exactly what we hit. But that's okay, you know? It's not really that much of a problem, is it? No, I don't think it's super bad. As long as we know we got the kill, that's all that really matters. And you can see here that these guys are literally just falling before us like wheat before a scythe. And it's actually quite crazy to see that, actually, because many times we go into a battle and, I mean, we're pretty confident, right? We're pretty confident. However, there's always those moments, you know? There's always those moments where you just kind of go, oh, wait a minute. We might actually end up losing this now. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing has happened quite a few times in this series. And we've even had our own defeat. You know, we've even had a defeat one time. And a couple of times we've come close. So it is very possible, especially, obviously, especially if you want to run away, or if you need to run away. That is obviously not exceptionally good, but, you know, there's always that possibility. That's the point. There's always a possibility of that. Funnily enough, though, my melee weapon is so incredibly powerful, it literally just chops through anything at this point. Look at this. 159 damage, literally 270 damage most of the time, and I don't really need to do much with this thing. I literally don't need to do much, as if I just swing in a leisurely manner, more than likely that is going to result in a kill. And it doesn't matter whether I have any speed bonus whatsoever. You can see here, look at that, 393 damage. And I didn't hit him on the head. I think I might have hit him on the neck, maybe. I'm actually not entirely sure. I mean, you can see here, look at how much damage we're doing. It's utter insanity, actually. Really strong. Okay, let's tell our infantry to charge in now as well. And we will, of course, run down the opponent. And I believe that, I mean, look at the disparity right here. And there's the victory. 32 renown, 76 influence. Obviously, this is not really that much of a big deal. We don't really care too much about those things anymore, even though it is actually still going to increase our maximum company size. But yeah, it's not really something that I'm super concentrated on at the moment. Anyway, as you can see, we do have some people, well, we have our sons leveling up quite nicely, actually, surprisingly enough. And we're going to see what we can actually get. Oh, wow. Okay, wait. Oh, no, never mind. I actually sorted by the wrong thing. This is actually really cool, to be honest, because we're now going to be getting Hatamoto units, or at the very least, we're going to be capturing quite a few of them as prisoners, and they are exceptional, as we know. And that was 34,000 experience being awarded to our party there, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, as you can see, our son actually has 106 in medicine at the moment, which is exceptionally good. Surprisingly so, to be honest. I was actually thinking that he was going to be having some huge problems. I didn't mean to actually go in the smithy for a real quick second there. I actually want to go into the trade screen because I do want to sell a couple of things. Funnily enough, it doesn't really do much. I mean, you know, yeah, it's just a classic and a half, isn't it? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to march to Edo itself, and we are going to try to take it. Because Bruce is getting on, as you know, he's getting a little bit older now. And I don't really want him to perish before we have succeeded in capturing Edo itself, which would be pretty cool, you know? I think that would be pretty cool. So let's just actually see. Maybe there are going to be a couple of, I don't know, maybe there'll be some things along the way that we want to take just because we can quickly go in there and take it. It very much depends. I obviously don't know because I've not gone over here before. So it's going to be interesting. Otherwise, let's just continue selling, and we'll see if we can scout out potential vulnerabilities. And it looks like we've had another child, which is actually hilarious. That is another child with our wife. So that's pretty cool. You know, that's nice. Another heir for the collection. Because we do seem to be amassing quite the collection at the moment. Now, yeah, as you can see, look at the absolute insanity that is the Hojo clan. They have so many castles in this central area here. And indeed, Edo is right here. So we are going to... Whoa. Oh, yeah. Look. Look at it. 2,400 militia. Yeah, I was kind of expecting something like that, but not something on such an incredible degree. So this is going to be extremely exciting. All right. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? Okay, the question is, where are my armies? Why is this guy so far away? See, this is the main problem with making alliances, or shall we say, making neutral-ish friends in a certain faction, or making friends with a certain faction, because you now have a situation like this where the Oda clan is basically in between my territory and Hojo clan territory, and I'm out here on a limb. I'm out here by myself. Which is obviously not exactly great, but I would love to go in here. You know, I would absolutely love to. You know what? I'm going to save just in case, because I don't want it to crash or anything like that. And we're going to go in and we're going to see what is actually up with the siege layout. I don't know if it's going to be any kind of unique siege layout. It would be really cool if it was, but I'm not disappointed in the least if it isn't. So yeah, we are just gonna see what happens here. They literally have 21 days worth of food. Well, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. The food does not matter in the least because we have so many enemies here to fight. This is really going to put us to the test. This is going to put me to the test, more specifically, because I am going to literally have to survive an entire siege that is more than 600 people. And usually that is impossible, just because of the amount of chip damage that I take, if you'll excuse the fighting game terminology. But basically, you know, if you take little bits of damage here and there, death by 1,000 cuts is a little bit more well known, I suppose, then you're gonna get the gist of it. Alright, so I called for an army. Yes, I thought to myself, you know what, this is gonna be epic, right? We really want to make this as legendary as possible, so this is exactly what I've done. I have called for every single person that has an army around 100, more than 100, and added them to our strength here, because of course, I actually had an army already created, thanks to our wonderful, wonderful son. So it's going to be really, really nice. And let's just see. Okay, so we do have... Oh, no. It's this layout. This is going to be very tough. And obviously, on top of the fact that we're going in here, we are also not... Oh. All right. Nope. Nope. Alright, so let's give this another go. What I'm going to do, very first of all, is I'm literally just going to stay here. I am just going to hold position. I don't really like doing this generally because it's kind of boring. But, you know, I think it's probably a good idea for us to just relax a little bit. Let our forces go ahead here. And maybe, just maybe, we will have the opportunity to get up there ourselves. Unfortunately, we are taking quite a few casualties, but thankfully we're now starting to get onto the walls. I decided not to go for a battering ram, just purely because I think that maybe it's worse than just going for the ladders. I actually don't know. I'm gonna have to test that out. If we have to go in here again, I will test it out more thoroughly. But at the moment, I'm unsure. I don't know. So we'll see. But I am just going to slash at everyone, and I'm going to have an absolutely wonderful time here. Or at least, I can only hope. Let's not die. Alright, so far, it's looking okay. We're not doing too badly. We are basically at around the exact same casualties. Obviously, this needs to change if we are in any way hopeful to achieve victory here. We need to be able to get a little bit more of a much better ratio. I need to kill at least over 1,000 more troops than the opponent kills of us. And unfortunately, they're apparently very, very good at blocking right now, which is really making things quite a bit more difficult for me. Now, we also did take quite a lot of damage because they were sending so many reinforcement waves to the front, and they were obviously able to capitalize on that quite a bit. I can't believe I missed that guy, but there you go. Alright, let's see if we can actually make our way up here to destroy these gates. Here we go. Okay, come on now. There we are. Okay, now let's just actually see what's going on here. I could bring out my my gun here, actually, and we could do something with that. Maybe. There we go. Just a little bit, you know, not going too hard here. Not trying to overextend too much. Not trying to be too risky. I'm just trying to eliminate those guys. And, yeah, they've already replaced them. See, now that's the problem with doing that. This guy's a gunner. Yep, there we go. Nice little dodge. That's what we needed. And I am... I'm not sure. I'm not sure where to go. I'm not sure where to go right now, because we either go here and we try to kill these reinforcements, or we go over to the standard area that we like to go to, and that's much safer. It is much safer to go over this way, so I think that's probably what we will do. We'll go up here, we'll kill the people in the tower first, and then we'll see what we can do about helping our forces and their reinforcements. Yeah, nice headshot. Yeah, that was very good. He was waiting for me to come up there. Very nicely done on his part. Okay, maybe we'll get a little bit luckier as we go forward here. Nice. Nice. Okay, come on now. I need a little bit more of that. Okay, so far, we're not doing too badly because we actually did just eliminate... If I can actually not die here, this would be very, very good. If I could just stay alive in this particular situation, I think we might actually be able to do enough damage to win. Unfortunately, the enemy archers are proving themselves to be extremely accurate for some reason at this moment in time. As you can see, I'm taking 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, all across the board, every single time. It's very, very frustrating to have that happen. But thankfully, they do... Oh no, maybe we're going to get a little bit luckier here now. This is actually really, really good. If I can just... Okay, if I can just stay here... Yeah, we're gonna die here. Unfortunately, we're gonna die here. There isn't much I can do about it. I've taken a lot of little bits of damage, you know? Little bits of damage here and there. And it is going to be very much death. Yes, death was waiting for me there. But I did kill 256, which is actually pretty significant. Obviously, not good enough Not good enough for us to achieve victory here. However, look at what my forces are doing right now. They are not very good. Let's just say that. Yes. They're deciding that they want to kind of, I don't know, get stuck around this area here, which all intents and purposes, yeah, I can understand why that's happening to them, but unfortunately, even with me basically locking down this area, I tried super hard to try and eliminate every single guard from the archery nest here. Basically, you know, there are like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different positions that enemies are going to station in this little section of the keep. So very, very hard done by me. Yes, I tried my best. Unfortunately, not good enough. Not good enough. Obviously, I think in general we would have done a lot better if I hadn't taken so much damage in the first initial assault. In other words, when we first began the siege, if I hadn't gone up the ladder and, you know, dealt with all those archers and stuff like that in the very beginning, I think we may have had more of an opportunity to do more later, if you know what I mean. Because then we would have had more HP. We would have probably saved ourselves at least 40% of our HP, maybe even more than that. And you've obviously got to bear in mind that there are some significant problems with basically going in and losing, you know, instant amounts of HP really, really fast. Obviously, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to be attacking this army here. I was going to try to attack this army, but apparently... hello. Oh, okay. I see how it is. Oh dear. Well, this is quite interesting, isn't it? Okay, so these guys are moving at 3.0. They're moving much faster than I am. This is going to be interesting. All right. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? I don't know. That's the question. I don't know. I think we're probably going to... Are we going to have a problem here? Ooh. Okay, this is looking pretty difficult. Look at this. Look at the combat strength. Oh dear. All right. So, let's take a look at some of their stuff. Their composition doesn't look particularly good. I mean, it seems fine. Don't get me wrong. It seems absolutely fine. Doesn't seem particularly amazing though. Let me actually just see here. Canto mounted scout. No, these guys are not that good, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. Okay, let's try it out. We might have to retreat here. It very much depends. Obviously, I am heading in here very injured. I do have a pretty big injury, so that's obviously a problem, isn't it? Yeah, that's obviously a bit of a problem. Okay, so wait a minute. How are we doing right here? Okay, so let's just put these guys like so. We'll put these off to the side or around here. And we're gonna, yeah, I think we're probably just gonna do this. Something like that. There we have it. Okay. And yeah, as you can see, my HP not looking particularly good. We are outnumbered slightly, which I think is okay. You know, that's fine. You know, being outnumbered by a small margin is not really that bad. And now let's see where the enemy's coming from. 1,000... What? 1,000 yards or meters or whatever away? That's actually insane. Okay, not entirely sure why they're so far away, but okay. I was kind of hoping that my gunners would do a little bit more than this. They are seemingly not very good for some reason. Okay, there we go. Nice. We've got the standard animation this time. That's kind of unfortunate. Would have been nice if we had the faster one. Nice hit. And we knocked him off his mount. And we just... Oh, it's always super funny when that kind of thing happens. We literally just bonked him. We bonked him with our horse. That was absolutely fantastic. Love that. Alright, so the enemy is... I'm not entirely sure. Are they actually even... Yeah, they are coming towards us, but they're taking a long time. So it's going to be interesting. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, the distance is a lot more than I thought. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Okay, come on now. Yeah, I did not mean to shoot that one. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, are these all cavalry? No way, right? Oh, if these are all cavalry, I'm... Oh... Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to move my infantry to the front here. Gonna have to move my infantry to the front, but let's put them in a shield wall formation as well, because otherwise we're gonna have some problems. This is gonna be very, very bad. Oh, okay, hello. What is this? What is this? What are these? Kanto Elite. Oh, I did not look at the elite cavalry. Oh, okay, that was a mistake on my part, I guess. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. I have no idea what's going to happen here, but if we can eliminate them, this is basically a done deal then. If we can eliminate these guys, it's done. We have won this. But the problem is, it's a big if. It's an extremely big if. I don't know whether we're going to be able to do this, but I am trying my hardest here. I'm trying not to get myself killed as well. Let's tell these guys to charge in so that they can actually, you know, fight and kill people without having to move too far either, because obviously, you know, they were in shield wall, of course, and we do need to... Yeah, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. That was a good hit. Thankfully, most of these elite cavalry are actually wearing these balloons on the back of their armor here, and it is making a huge difference in target acquisition, because I'm basically like, oh yeah, there's a big X on his back. Let's just target him down. Thank you very much. You know, seems a lot easier. Definitely a lot easier to see. And you can actually tell, look at the power right now. The combat strength of our forces versus the opponent, because they have lost so many cavalry. It has fundamentally shifted the entire power balance of the battle. And this is exactly what I was talking about. I said, hey, you know, we just need to kill these guys. If we can kill these guys, we will win this. And they have a huge amount of these guys. Look at this. Kanto Elite Cavalry up the wazoo right here. Kind of strange. All right. Yeah, we're going to actually tell these guys to come back now. We're going to tell these guys to come back, tell these guys to come back. And, yeah, we're just going to reconsolidate our forces here. We've eliminated 170 of the enemy, which is pretty good for a first wave. Let's face it, that's an overwhelmingly positive thing. Very nice. A great outcome for us. And the only thing that we can do now is just relax a little bit, you know? Just relax a little bit and see what is about to happen next. So far, I am liking what we're doing. I think my archers still have ammunition, so we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. And I mean, we basically have the initiative here. Unfortunately, the enemy has so many troops. I'm not sure if we can... Not sure if we can manage this in one go. That's the thing. Can we manage this in one go? I don't know. Because we're going to need resupply, aren't we? We're going to need ammunition and stuff like that. Because otherwise we're going to run out of ammunition relatively quickly. And then we're going to be in a troublesome spot. Okay, so I decided to retreat just for a second here. Because of course, just think about it. They were so far away, we have the ability to resupply. So from a realistic perspective, we had the ability to go get our ammunition, and they would then take a huge amount of time to come back to us, right? So that's the kind of thought process I'm going through right there, because we still have an uphill battle. This is still an uphill battle, not actually almost literally at the moment. That's quite funny, nevertheless. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be placing one of these guys on here, even though he's not mounted. I don't really mind that too much. What we're going to do, though, is we're just going to put these guys over here. And I'm actually going to move them probably up here. Yeah, I need to spread them out a little bit more than that. There we go. Okay, that's nice. And let's put these guys over here. We're going to put them into a loose formation for now. And then we're going to switch them into a shield wall when they move forward through the archers, because what we want to do is we want to move them through, filter them through the archers when the enemy's cavalry is charging us in, or shall we say when they're charging us, and then we will close the gap, and we'll basically make it so that the shield wall will then, you know, form and all that stuff, blah, blah, you know, all that, you know it already. So we will otherwise go in. We have 19% HP, which is really bad. And it is actually really bad. We need something more than that. We need much, much more than that. And we're going to be putting my people around about here. There we have it. And we'll just put our infantry over there as well. Put these guys here. And basically, we're just going to try and see if we can get into position before the cavalry come over. Alright, so here it goes. The absolute thunderous amount of damage that our gunners are causing against the opponent. Absolutely amazing. Love the sound of the guns going off in quick succession, of course. Volleys are super, super fun to watch. And indeed, the amount of damage they do is great. And we got some floating rocks right there, but let's just ignore those. And otherwise, yeah, my infantry are doing pretty nicely here. Let's tell these guys to charge in right now. My infantry are over there. I'm not sure if they're going to do a particularly good job in that position, but what else am I supposed to do? I'm actually not sure. Just tell them to charge in, I guess. Yeah, just tell them to charge in. If the enemy is charging, then we should probably charge in against them, because otherwise we're just going to be standing there watching their infantry slaughter ours. And while they are in, shall we say, well, they are, yeah, well, you know, they're definitely going to be in, you know, close by, and they're definitely going to be in melee. And, you know, it's generally a much better idea for us to just do some damage, because, you know, even if they're in shield wall or something like that, that's okay. You know, we can just put them into a charge state, and then we can, once again, as you can see right here, tell them to go back into the shield wall, and then we're all good. Absolutely fantastic. And then, oh yeah, and then we've got something even better, because we now have the ability to, well, first of all, get our cavalry back here, but we now have the ability to wait until the enemy comes up. Look at this. We've killed another 200. Another 200. Absolutely amazing. Very, very nice. Obviously, this battlefield is a lot better than the previous one. However, we did do massive amounts of damage to them that time as well. I think we've mostly eliminated a lot of their elite cavalry. I don't think we're really having too many issues with that. And, yeah, it's really making a big difference. And now, oh, no, wait, no, they're actually coming in. They're actually coming in. But these, oh, these are heavy cavalry. Oh, interesting. But yeah, as you can see, look at this. Infantry completely dead stopping the enemy's cavalry. Absolutely perfect. Wonderful, wonderful situation for us here. And my gunners should be fine-ish. They should be fine. But this is definitely one of the largest battles that we have ever seen. And we will, no doubt, be... I think we're probably going to be fine, but I'm not entirely sure how many reinforcement waves we're going to have to face. And there it is, the victory. We actually didn't get as much renown as I thought, but I guess it was kind of an even battle. We did get, I think it was, what was it, 120? Yeah, I think 120 renown and 214 influence or something like that. We're going to be taking every single one of these guys prisoner. Unfortunately, this is probably going to result in exhaustion being hit. The exhaustion limit being hit, that is. I did eventually get eliminated in the battle, unfortunately, as well, because of course I did, you know, I was very low HP. I gotta say, what is really, really fun, though, is being able to take all of this armor and all of the loot, actually, and look at the amount of experience I'm gonna get from this. It's absolutely bonkers. I mean, literally. Obviously the horses, I'm not entirely sure if it's even worth me taking any of these, to be honest. I mean, yeah, sure, you know, from a certain perspective, I suppose it could be, but I'm actually not entirely sure whether it's really worth. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to really increase my speed or not, because I am, I think, kind of close to the herding limit. Yeah, I don't really want to go any further than that, so I'm just going to leave it for now. But look at the amount of... the amount of food we could take as well. Very, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, I like it. And then we're just going to donate the rest of the experience to our people. And now this is incredible. This is so incredibly cool. Well, basically what happened in the battle is they literally just continued running into us. That's it. I didn't retreat any further because I didn't feel like that was particularly necessary, really. The amount of level ups we got from this, absolutely incredible too. Now, I am going to just go for what I think is decent here. We'll just go for those, level up those a little bit more. There we go. All right, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so the battle, as I said, did take quite a long time. And it was mostly due to the fact that the opponent spawned pretty much on the opposite ends of the earth. They had to travel at least 800 yards, 1,000 yards, whatever, all the way over to us. And every single time they had to do that, obviously I didn't want to move, right? I didn't want to move because basically if I moved, it would make it a lot more, shall we say, well, let's just say a lot easier, right? It would be a lot easier for us if I stayed where we were, because if I received any reinforcements, my reinforcements would be right there, whereas the enemy would then have to travel an exceptional amount of distance to get over to us, and that is probably the reason why we actually ended up achieving victory in the end anyway, just because our strategy was better, and that's it. But yeah, anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I am going to be attempting to take Edo in the next episode, and we'll see whether we can actually pull it off. We'll see whether I can actually survive a siege against 2,454 people. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.